Hello guys, Jared Griffiths here, and today I'm going to review the first film in the Naked Gun film series, The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad, directed by David Zucker and starring Leslie Nielsen, George Kennedy, O.J. Simpson, Ricardo Montalbán, Priscilla Presley, and Ed Williams. And basically this was based off a short-lived TV series called Police Squad. There are only 6 episodes of it ever made, and basically this came out 6 years after the TV show came out, and there are 3 actors who were in the TV show. We have Leslie Nielsen as the main character of Frank Drebin, of course, and the other main one is Ed Williams as Ted Olsen, the sort of Q of Police Squad. And the other one who's in this, but he's not in the other 2 films, is Ronald Taylor, who plays Al. He had a small role in the TV show, and he has a small role in this movie as well. And basically the whole joke with that character is you never see his face, basically. So yeah, in the show we had Captain Ed Hocken, who was played by Alan North, and in the movies he's played by George Kennedy. And George Kennedy first became famous for being in the airport movies, and of course Leslie Nielsen became famous from being in Airplane, which is a parody of Airport, which is interesting. In the TV show we had Peter Lupus as Nordberg, and in the movies the name is changed to Nordberg, and in the movies he's played by O.J. Simpson. And yeah, and of course O.J. Simpson is a very controversial figure, but you know, he is good in these films. And yeah, I do prefer the movie versions of the characters to the TV show versions. So basically the plot of this movie is that we have a businessman, Vincent Ludwig, played by Ricardo Montalbán, who basically the Queen of England is coming to visit America to a baseball game, sorry, and he plans. Vincent Ludwig plans on brainwashing people into assassinating the Queen of England, and basically we see at the beginning of the film, we see Nordberg trying to almost like he found out that Vincent Ludwig was the bad guy, but he gets shot by his henchman. And he's in a coma for most of the movie until the end, and so then Frank Drebin, played by Leslie Nielsen, he takes over the case, and this movie is just hilarious. I mean, we see like the first scene where we see Frank Drebin, where he's beating up all these terrorists. It's just a really fun scene, and it's a good action scene. It's also hilarious as well, really. And we get the opening credits sequence where they bring back the theme song from the TV show, which the Naked Gun theme by Era Newborn. It's just brilliant, really. Yeah. And basically the opening credits, it's from the point of view from the bonnet of his car, and he's basically driving around for the whole thing, and the opening credits got crazier and crazier as the films went on. But in this first film it's basically he's driving around places where you're not supposed to drive, like he drives on the pavement, and then he drives into someone's house, and then he like drives through like female changing rooms, which is just hilarious. And I think in this one we have Nordberg is in a coma for most of the movie, and we do get to see more of him in the next 2 films, which kind of a shame that he's in a coma for this, because he is a good character, I think, and as much as O.J. Simpson is a terrible person, he is good in the Naked Gun films. And of course George Kennedy is great as well, and I think Ricardo Montalbán as Vincent Ludwig, I think, is a brilliant villain as well. You might know I know him best. Ricardo Montalbán was Khan in the Star Trek episode Space Seed, and he reprised that role for the movie Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, and he plays a great villain in that, and he's a great villain in this as well. And basically we have Frank Drebin falls in love with Vincent Ludwig's secretary, Jane Spencer, who's played by Priscilla Presley, and she's very good in this as well. And I love there's basically the whole sort of slapstick and stuff. Like, I think one of my favourite scenes when he's in Vincent Ludwig's office, and basically he ruins Vincent Ludwig has this really valuable pen, and Frank breaks it and he drops it in the fish tank, and then he ends up killing his fish as well. And he had a really valuable fish. He had Japanese fighting fish, and it's just hilarious. And how he tries to hide it from Vincent Ludwig from every time he turns around. And the fish bites his nose and he's trying to hide it and stuff, and it's just hilarious. And also the scene where he's climbing around the building, and the building has statues of naked people, and he's holding the woman's tits, and then there's an actual woman there, and he actually he wasn't looking and didn't see that it was a real person, and he actually holds that real woman's breast, and and he almost falls off, and it looks like, and he's holding on to a statue of a man, he's holding on to his penis and turns it around, and it looks like it's an erection. It looks like he's basically wanking him off. But this movie, it's just an absolutely hilarious film. And I'll point out the actress who plays the Queen of England, Jeanette Charles. She is an actress who's known for looking like Queen Elizabeth II, and she's played the Queen in a few other films. She also played the Queen in National Lampoon's European Vacation, and also in Austin Powers and Goldmember. So that's interesting, and she is very good as the Queen. So I'd highly recommend this whole trilogy, as well as the TV series. They're just hilarious. And thanks for watching, and stay tuned for my reviews of the next two Naked Gun films. So bye.